In order to start up a dormant xenomorph life cycle, a host of acceptable size needs to enter a certain area around an ovomorph so that it can wake up the facehugger it's protecting for implantation. Yet an ovomorph is not exactly an enticing object. In fact, they're pretty horrifying. So how would it lure you in close enough so that the egg could determine if it should release its cargo? One possible theory is that there is more than sheer curiosity that causes unlucky hosts to stray too close to an ovomorph. As it turns out, there may be some kind of pheromone emitted from the ovomorph itself that soothes your fears, allowing that curiosity to take over. An interesting theory that we'll explore further in today's video on the theory of ovomorph pheromones. Now to begin with, the theory in question is not one from one of the numerous secret Weyland-Yutani facilities scattered throughout the stars. We would still be looking at a doctor, mad with power, trying to manipulate the xenomorph for profit and technology, but this time he would be employed by Venture Corporation, a competitor of Wei-Yu. And if you want to hang with a company like them, you have to be cutthroat, like they are, and be willing to do anything you can to get your hands on alien or engineered tech. Millard Gagnon, the doctor in question, would obtain an ovomorph so he could study an actual alien xeno. With no animals available in space, he would need a human host, and he would find one in Hassan, someone used to participating in medical experiments for extra money. Unfortunately for him, Dr. Gagnon had a good idea of what would happen to Hassan, but he told him that he only wanted to see how he would react when placed near the egg. Now reading from the novel, this is what happened next. Hassan wanted to shout at Gagnon, to let out a stream of curses and pound his fists against the window. Maybe it was the lingering effect of the drug, or maybe he simply realized that Gagnon was right, and he had no way of escaping. Whatever the reason, the anger quickly drained out of him, and he turned away from the window to face the egg. Up close it was even more disgusting than it had looked through the door. Its surface was slick and moist looking, as if it was covered with some kind of mucus. And the smell! The egg gave off a thick, rank odor, a combination of reptile stink and the harsh tang of caustic chemicals. The strange thing was that the smell had a certain allure, like the odor of gasoline or the earthy scent of a dog in need of a bath. Those weren't pleasant smells, nothing on the order of fresh cut flowers or baking bread, but they were nonetheless compelling in their own way, and the egg's scent was no different in this regard. Without realizing it, he took a step toward the thing, and to his surprise, it reacted. As if his physical proximity had triggered some kind of signal, the egg began to quiver, almost as if Hassan's presence excited it. The animal chemical smell grew stronger, and again, without realizing it, he took yet another step toward the egg. Its outer surface appeared solid, but 4 sections peeled away from the top and curled downward, revealing an opening. Now it looked more like a flower, extending its petals. Whatever the thing was, it had to be alien. No way something like this had come from Earth. He realized then that Gagnon had no idea what the hell this thing was either, and the real reason he put him in the chamber with it was to determine what the object would do. The egg, or whatever, stopped quivering when its petals had peeled all the way back. It sat motionless, as if waiting for Hassan to make the next move, and the hell of it was, he did. He took yet another step toward the thing. Maybe it was out of curiosity, or maybe the odor that the object gave off was some sort of stimulant, like a powerful pheromone. He was less than a foot from the egg, close enough to be able to lean forward and see whatever lay inside. A voice in the back of his mind, one that belonged to the most primitive part of him, the part that had helped his species survive and thrive over tens of thousands of years, screamed that he should draw back now before it was too late. But of course, it already was. I really like how the author, Tim Waggoner, set up the situation here, putting the reader in the mind of a soon-to-be host for the facehugger. A while back, he sat down with the good people over at AVP Galaxy to discuss the book, and he had this to say on the possible alien pheromones. In the alien movies, people always walk right up to the ovomorphs and stand there while they slowly open and then a facehugger shoots upward at them. The characters always look enthralled, almost entranced when they go up to a xenomorph egg, and I thought, What would attract them to it and keep them there long enough for a facehugger to emerge? I thought a pheromone lure might be a good explanation, although I only present it as one character's theory, not an established fact. But if that tidbit makes it into official alien lore, that would be cool. So this is something I've heard people bring up in the past, and it's something that I think was in the back of my own mind as well. The part about people putting their faces over the opened ovomorph, and how stupid it is. Much like how we yell at the soon-to-be victims in horror films that go into the dark basement alone. Yet when I look back at the films to get some video grabs of what he mentions here, you don't really see it. I mean, Kane does it, he really gets up on that egg, but he's in an airtight suit, so any pheromones should not be able to breach it and affect him. Looking to the other movies, no one else seems mesmerized or drawn in by an ovomorph until Alien Covenant, but there Aurum was assured by David that the egg was safe. He shouldn't have trusted him, so it's possible that the pheromone was present, making him feel at ease here. But then we'd also have to wonder that if the xenomorphs do have this ability in their ovomorphs, did they at this point, where we have David's praedomorph, a possible lead up to the xenomorph, but not a true xeno yet. Still, I think this idea persists for most of us seeing Alien long ago, where we were screaming either out loud or in our heads for Kane to get the hell out of that egg chamber. Even so, the idea works for me in the bigger Alien universe, where you know there would be tons of instances where unknowing colonists would be exposed to ovomorphs. And this gives us a possible reason why curiosity wins out, giving the alien an edge. Who knows, it may be even possible that the Hammerpeed in Prometheus was able to release a similar kind of pheromone, explaining why Milburn was so at ease with the dangerous looking snake-like creature. I'm so glad that Tim presented this as a theory in the book. We don't have the thoughts of other hosts to observe to confirm this, and we also need to take the information learned here in Alien Prototype with a grain of salt, as the alien we're working with here is a necromorph and not a standard xenomorph. Have you guys read Alien Prototype yet? I have, and I really need to reread it again, as I powered through it quickly when it first came out. But going back through it for this video made me want to revisit the book once more. What are your thoughts on the theory of alien ovomorph pheromones? Let's discuss this down in the comments. And as always guys, thanks for watching, take care, and I hope to see you next time.